everyone. Welcome to our next video related with relative lowering of vapor pressure, which is also a colligative property. In our previous video, we have studied the definition of colligative property as well as one of its property, that is elevation in boiling point. The next colligative property is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now let's start the next colligative property. Suppose we are adding any non-volatile solute in a solvent. Then what happens? Does its vapor pressure remain same or get changed? The change in vapor pressure of the solution formed on a non-volatile solute in the solvent is known as change in vapor pressure. Suppose we are having a pure solvent whose vapor pressure is P1 naught. Suppose the vapor pressure of pure solvent is P1 naught, and after adding a non-volatile solute in this solvent, we get a solution. So the vapor pressure, or we can say the partial pressure, of solvent in solution is P1. P1 naught is the vapor pressure of the pure solvent before adding the solute, and P1 is the partial pressure of the solvent in the solution form. Now, according to Raoult's law, if X1 is the mole fraction of solvent, P1 is equals to P1 naught X1. If the X1 is mole fraction of the solvent particles in the solution, according to Raoult's law, we can say that P1 is equals to P1 naught X1, where P1 is the partial pressure of solvent in solution, P1 naught is the vapor pressure of pure solvent, and X1 is the mole fraction of the solvent particles. Friends, in vapor pressure after adding a non-volatile solute with a solvent is delta P1. This is the difference in vapor pressure. So we can say it is equals to P1 naught minus P1. Difference before and after forming the solution. This is the pure solvent. P1 naught is the pure solvent before forming the solution, and P1 is the partial pressure of solvent after forming the solution. So in the difference between before and after states of the solvent is delta P1. This is difference in vapor pressure before and after adding the non-volatile solute. So we can place the value of P1 over here. Delta P1 is equals to P1 naught minus P1 naught x1. By taking common, delta P1 is equals to P1 naught 1 minus x1. As we know that for a binary solution, sum of all the fractions is equals to 1, and as we are having the binary solution over here, one solute and one solvent, so we can say x1 plus x2 is equals to 1, and 1 minus x1 is equals to x2. We can put this value in our equation. We can put the value of 1 minus x1 over here, and we can say it is equals to P1 naught x2. So delta P1 is equals to P1 naught x2, and we can also say that delta P1 upon P1 naught is equals to x2. The delta P1 upon P1 is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Delta P1 upon P1 naught is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Why it is relative? Because it is related with the pure solvent, and this is the difference in the vapor pressure before and after forming the solution. So this is the relative lowering of vapor pressure, which is equal to the mole fraction of solute particles. If the solution is not binary, it is made by adding 2 or more solutes. Then what happens? Then we can say that the relative lowering in vapor pressure is equals to the sum of all the solutes. If 2 or 3 solutes are being added, the sum of mole fractions of all the solutes is equals to the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now come back to the previous solution, which is a binary solution x2. What the x2 is? x2 is the mole fraction of solute particles. Do you know the definition of mole fraction? How can we calculate the mole fraction? x2 is equals to n2 upon n1 plus n2, where n2 is equals to number of moles of solute and n1 is number of moles of solvent. So the mole fraction can be calculated by number of moles of solute upon total moles present in the solution. If the solution is very dilute, अगर हमारा solution बहुत dilute है तो हम कह सकते हैं कि N2 negligible हो जाएगा, और in that case for dilute solution we can say it is equals to N2 upon N1, because N2 is much more lesser than N1. For dilute solution, the amount of N2 is much more less, so we can write mole fraction is equals to N2 upon N1 by negliging the N2. So we can put the value of x2 over here also, and we get lowering in vapor pressure is equals to x2, which is equals to N2 upon N1. Now we can also relate N1 and N2 by the given mass and molar mass. So what the N2 is? N2 is number of moles of solute. That means the given mass of solute upon molar mass of solute particles. What the N1 is? N1 is number of moles of solvent. That means the given mass of solvent upon the molar mass of solvent. 1 for the solvent and 2 for the solute. We can also put the same values in the above equation to get delta P1 upon P1 note, that is the relative lowering of vapor pressure, is equals to W2 upon M2 by W1 upon M1, or we can say it is delta P1 upon P1 note is equals to W2 upon M2 multiplied by M1 upon W2. So we observe that relative lowering of vapor pressure is equals to the mole fraction of the solute particles, which is equals to N2 upon N1, and we can also relate it with the molar masses of solute and solvent particles. As delta P1 is equals to P1 node minus P1. So we can also write P1 node minus P1 upon P1 node is equals to W2 upon M2 multiplied by M1 upon W1. This is the relation between the molar masses of solute and solvent with the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Our next colligative property is depression in freezing point. What the freezing point is? Freezing point is obtained when a solid is in equilibrium with the liquid. The temperature at which vapor pressure of a solid becomes equal to its liquid phase is known as its freezing point. Or we can say that for the freezing point, the vapor pressure of liquid and its solid form are equal. Whenever we add any non-volatile solute to a solvent to form the solution, what happens? Its freezing point decreases or lowers down, and that is the lowering of freezing point. Suppose TF is the freezing point for a solution. It is the freezing point for solution in which solvent and a non-volatile solute is being added. Whereas TF node is the freezing point for pure solvent. This is the freezing point for the pure solvent, and this is the freezing point for the solution formed by adding a non-volatile solute to the solvent. Now what is the lowering of freezing point? What is the difference between the pure and the solution, the solvent and the solution? The freezing point of solvent and solution are differ from each other due to adding the non-volatile solute. So delta TF is the difference in freezing point. As I have told you that whenever we add any non-volatile solute to the solvent to make a solution, the freezing point decreases. So we can say TF is less than TF node. The freezing point previously is more, and after adding the solute it decreases, so the value of TF is less than the TF node. So to calculate the difference, we will write TF node minus TF. As we know that it is a colligative property which depends on amount of the substance, not on the nature of the substance. So delta TF is directly proportional to M, where M is molarity of the solvent. Delta TF is directly proportional to molality. Delta TF is equals to KFM, where KF is molar depression constant, or we can say it also cryoscopic constant. Kb is named as ebullioscopic constant or molar elevation constant, that is for the boiling point, and here it is Kf, which is the molar depression constant or cryoscopic constant, and it is for the freezing point. Now, by putting the value of M, molality is the number of solute particles present in kilogram of the solvent. Kilogram of solvent, unit kilogram. So if W is given in gram, we can convert it into kilogram by multiplying the equation by 1000. I have just converted the amount into kilogram by multiplying it by 1000. So by putting the value in the above equation, delta TF is equals to KF N2 upon W1 into 1000. We can also relate the depression in freezing point by the molar mass of the solute by putting the value of N2, that is KF, the given mass of solute upon molar mass of solute into 1000 upon the mass of the solvent. So we can say that depression in freezing point can be calculated easily by the molar mass of the solute. If we know the molar mass of solute, we can easily calculate. If we know the molar mass of solute, we can easily calculate the depression in freezing point. So delta TF, which is equals to delta TF naught minus TF, is equals to KF W2 upon M2 into 1000 upon W1. This is our formula to calculate the depression in freezing point, and we can say that depression in freezing point can be calculated if the molar mass of solute is given, or we can also calculate the molar mass of the solute if depression in freezing point is given. So we can say that M2 is equals to Kf W2 upon delta TF into 1000 upon W1. If the depression in freezing point is given, if we are adding any non-volatile solute to the solvent and depression in freezing point is observed, we can calculate the molar mass of the added solute. We can also understand the same concept using the graph. When we plot a graph between vapor pressure and temperature, we found that two lines are obtained, one for the pure solvent and another for the solution. The line A to B, which goes to C, is for liquid solvent, and from D to E and E to C is for the solution. B is the point where the vapor pressure of pure solvent is equal for its liquid and solid phase. Therefore, it is the point TF naught, or the freezing point for the pure solvent. Whereas E is the point where the vapor pressure of solution is equal for its liquid as well as gaseous phase, that is the freezing point for the solution, TF. As we know that the freezing point decreases when a non-volatile solute is added to the solvent. So the TF is less than TF naught. Depression in freezing point or difference between the freezing points of solution and pure solvent is delta TF, which is difference between TF naught and TF, the freezing point of pure solvent and the solution. Cryoscopic constant Kf is molar depression constant of a solvent which is equal to its depression in freezing point while 1 mole solute is dissolved in 1000 gram of solvent. Its unit is Kelvin kilogram per mole. We can also calculate the molar mass if depression in freezing point is given. The relation between molar depression constant or cryoscopic constant with latent heat of fusion is similar to the molar elevation constant Kb and the latent heat of vaporization. We can calculate Kf using this formula.